I work with Mamo and everybody here. We just gave presentations. Yeah. So I've been deploying our product to AWS Cloud for 4 years now. We have been using all older methods of running the commands manually or puppetizing it and everything. So we had developed Ansible playbooks for our deployments now, and we need orchestrator for that. So all the steps what we do, we need to do it with zero downtime. So we wanted a pipeline kind of a flow where all these steps are executed in a orchestrated manner, and we chose GoCD for that. This is an open source tool by ThoughtWorks. So a lot of people use Jenkins or Rundeck, as we said before, but because of our platform and how we deploy to each zone, we wanted to use Go pipelines because it gives us the control of deploying to one zone and rerunning it if it fails, or start from some other different point. So I have some screenshots here where this is a sample pipeline which takes values whatever required for our playbooks to run. AWS keys, our package URL, basically the artifacts that are generated from Jenkins. We give the URL here, and we have integrated with Jira. When we deploy, it can post in Jira and HipChat so that there is a deployment going on. So we have to notify those. For notifications, we use Jira, and the pod list will give us the list of pods where we are deploying. So so I grayed it out or whitened it, so all these variables are not visible, but this is how you give. And these variables are can be passed as API variables. There is an API for each pipeline, and the variables can be changed when you trigger the pipeline. If you don't pass the variable, it will take whatever is there specified in the pipelines. So this is where we provide the information to trigger the build or deployment. So the next part is how we give our stages and jobs in a pipeline, where stages are sequentially executing tasks, and jobs are like can run parallelly, and each job can be associated with a Go agent, which does all the tasks for you, just like you do manually or a command center way. So so if you see our steps are here, like I don't know how we can zoom it, but first step is like we download RPM, we get the inventory where we deploy our package. Basically, we have for a deployment or for release, we have about 2,000 servers where we have to do it by zone. We don't do blue-green deployments because it's hard to bring up some thousands of servers for a new release. So we do it by zones, and each zone contains about 700 around servers. So this inventory is generated dynamically in this step, where we have scripts to generate the inventory, and that will be an artifact for GoCD. And for the subsequent steps, it will be used as the inventory file for Ansible. And the next step, we stop Puppet so that whatever changes we do for whatever changes or versions we apply at a higher level, they don't get pushed immediately. So we have the control of pushing it per zone whenever we are ready for release, like draining the traffic, and when the services are shut it down. So that's when we'll proceed. So once we checked into Hiera all the versions, where for each pod we might have given different versions, or it deploys differently for different pods or different customers. So those things are specified or updated in Hiera. And then that's when we start per zone. And each zone we have multiple steps. It's again not visible and I can't zoom here, but they make sure, these steps make sure that your service is stopped, your connections are, before the service is stopped, your connections are drained, your routers are, your components are out of service from ELBs, or any other load balancers that you use. We run Puppet so that it will download the respective software version to that specific host or pod. We validate again after that, once the service is up, we validate some steps where what is the build, is it currently, is it as expected, and once the validation is done, we'll add it back to the service. So we do this for each zone, and this is a control we get it, we have, and you see, you can have a view of how these jobs are running, and you can rerun if any of these failed, or you can start from a different point where you want to go back and start. And in case you want to roll back, also you have an option to switch your version back, and you can rerun the same job, or it can automatically rerun this job for you, and rollback is done. All your logs all your deployment logs are logged in Go CD, and you can see it here. So it will be used for your certifications or PCI certifications or anything. So what changes you have pushed, you will be logging those things. And you have also the stage history. So yeah, the one last thing is you can give control to the developers who can operate these jobs. And what we did was we have given control to developers as well as some of the Jenkins jobs which can trigger these pipelines using API. And it works like easily. And we have reduced our deployment times from 8 hours to around 2 hours using this approach, where we don't have to redo stuff or wait for something to come up. Now we don't manually monitor the deployments, sitting in front of the system. So this is a good way we used to improve deployment cycles. Thanks.